Hi everyone, thanks for joining today. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on a cold process soap that's part of a YouTube collab. The theme for this, or the name of the soap, is Sea Glass Soap, and the theme is water. So this is a water-inspired theme. I thought sea glass was perfect since it's, inspires me and I need to go to the ocean. It's been a long time since I've been. So if you want to stick around, I'll be sharing the recipe in the video along with the process on how I made the soap. After I got those embeds chopped up, I just went ahead and started measuring out the oils. This is a pretty simple recipe. I've used it before. It's a slow trace recipe. Part of the reason I wanted to use this is because I had planned on doing a swirl design for part of the soap, and you'll see that later on. Once the soap reached a light trace, I wanted to pour the part for the bottom layer of the soap, and I just did a little bit of gold mica. I love this. It gives everything a nice shimmer, plus it shows up in cold process soap really well. And then I also wanted to add some coffee grounds to this layer to kind of give it a sandy beach color, because I wanted that to represent like the beach sand. I did also add in a little bit, and I mean a tiny bit, of darker mica as well, just to darken up the sand color a little bit, because after I mixed it I realized it wasn't quite as dark as I needed it to be for the bottom layer. As you can see, I kind of just eyeballed how many coffee grounds I wanted in there, and I did have to mix it a little bit more because I wanted to make sure that the coffee grounds did stay suspended in the bottom of the base. I didn't want them all sinking to the bottom of the soap. So that is important. And then also, after everything got mixed and I poured it into the mold, I had to wait a little while longer for it to set up, and I ended up mixing it even more. Just to make sure that the base was really sturdy, and that way I could have like a little bit of a wavy design on the sandy layer. For this soap, I'm using Kentish Rain. It is my favorite fragrance oil that's like water theme. It's not really ocean theme, but it is very nice and clean. And I've purchased it from Brambleberry and Wholesale Supplies Plus. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Smells exactly the same. It performs just the same. And it also, if you're looking for something that is like an Irish Spring dupe, that's what was recommended to me when I reached out to the suppliers, and it does kind of smell like Irish Spring. My stepdad loves that smell, and that's the only fragrance he'll use in a soap. So after I added the fragrance oil, I went ahead and I took my batter and I put it into 3 containers for 3 different blues. And then I saved quite a bit of it, and I added titanium dioxide to the other part to leave for like a white color in the ocean theme. As you'll see, for the ocean layer, I couldn't decide if I wanted to do an in the pot swirl or a drop swirl, so I did kind of both. I poured as much as I could into this little pot to do an in the pot swirl, and then I just poured it on top of the coffee ground layer that I had going there. And once I had all that poured, I just went ahead and started doing a drop swirl with the rest of the batter that I had left over. And there was still some white that I saved in my large pot that I saved for the end, because I wanted the top to be a nice clean white for the embeds that I was going to be placing on top of the soap. Since these were melt and pour pieces, I did go ahead and spritz them down with rubbing alcohol before I started placing them on top of the soap, and I just kind of randomly placed the little chunks and bits until the entire top of the soap was covered with little sea glass pieces. And then once they were covered with sea glass pieces, I went ahead and spritzed the top of the soap again with more rubbing alcohol to prevent soda ash on the cold process soap, and also to help some glitter stick to the melt and pour soap, so it would give it a nice shiny effect. I do want to mention too that the glitter that I did use on this is biodegradable. If you haven't used anything from Nurture Soap before, all of their stuff is pretty eco-friendly, and they have lots of biodegradable glitter. I recently started using them a couple months ago. I've seen other soapers use them, and I've been really impressed with their shipping times and the products that they carry. So a lot of it is just micas and fragrance oils. They have a couple molds and stuff like that, but they don't have a large selection of product like some other soap suppliers. I waited about a day and a half to unmold this, and I think next time I use this recipe I will add sodium lactate. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but with these silicone molds it just doesn't seem to pop out very well. Sometimes you have to wait up to 3 days before you could really take it out, and I just didn't have the time. So what I did was I went ahead and popped it out of the mold anyway, and then just kind of filled in the holes as best as I could, because I didn't want to waste the soap and I didn't want the soap to look ugly. So if you're impatient like me, that's the one more solution when you pop them out early. And I am just loving the way the top of this came out, so I had to show it off before I cut it down. I love the glitter. I love the stained glass pieces. I'm definitely going to be making more soaps like this because I think it was a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed this challenge with these YouTubers and the other soap makers. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing everybody else's videos.